Hello everyone! Hello Aaron, hello Supa, hello Minami, hello Dogo, hello Kurai, hello Supa, hello Ethan. How are you guys doing? Hello. Oh god, okay. We're gonna listen to the fucking Duckult BGM today on loop. I hope you guys are happy. It won't distract our reading. Hello, nonsense. Everyone's favorite repetitive BGM, the Duckult theme. So how are you guys doing? Hello, Natias. This is a wonderful day for the Tanya Grotter fandom. Yeah, okay, hear me out, right? So, I'm very tired. I'm just gonna put it out there, like, right now. I'm so tired. I just finished my thesis. I just submitted it on Monday. And other than that, I'm like 3D modeling for my final project. And I went to sleep really late last night. And I was just like, I don't feel like drawing this week. I'm so tired. And today I tried to like I was just doodling something, and I was like, oh man, yeah, good thing I didn't decide to draw today. I'm so tired. But yes, my thesis is done. It's on The Last of Us. It's about The Last of Us, and it's 15 pages long. So that's great. Everything hurts, life is pain. Oh my god, are you guys okay? My shoulders hurt. I'm tired of life. No, guys! Oh my goodness. Hello, Boris. Duckult BGM is great as part of a reading music playlist. I woke up early enough to catch the stream. See, guys, Kurai has a positive outlook. Doing dishes, cool. I hate doing dishes. God, you cannot pay me to like voluntarily want to do the dishes. It's actually sucks. If we're talking about pain, my jaw hurts, I'm not injury. I don't know why we're talking about pain, but I guess we are now. I need to do the dish after my dinner. I was like, I'll do it later. But yes, so yeah, today's probably gonna be a short stream. I don't really want to stream for too long today. I think we'll like read a couple chapters. Maybe like talk. I don't fucking know. I'm just tired. I'm really sorry, guys. I was like considering like maybe I should take a break Wednesday, but I didn't want to cancel stream, so I was like, you know what? I'll just mess around. Like I was making the schedule like last night. I was like, you know what? I'll just mess around. We'll read fucking Tanya Grotter. Why the fuck not? On the bright side, my classes got cancelled early because there was no energy in the building. Oh, I guess that's nice. Hello, Mr. E. But there's like 16 books. Yes, but only the first one has an English translation, I think. It's illegal to distribute those books in English. Okay, for some trivia for those of you who didn't join us last stream on that lovely piece of Wikipedia reading on the Tanya Grotter books. So they're like a knockoff Harry Potter, but apparently they're parody. We're reading every Tanya Grotter book today. Oh, no we're not. Like, it's so weird. Like, I was reading like a little bit of it and I genuinely couldn't tell if it's like meant to be funny or like satire or not. Like, it is so hard to tell. Like, apparently they got sued by like J.K. Rowling, obviously. But for obvious reasons, and they tried to claim parody to like, because you are allowed to like make parody, like it's not really like the same like copyright law, but it got like denied. So technically like they didn't consider it a parody like officially. And yeah, I've read some random stuff, like apparently they managed to get, before like the whole lawsuit went through, they managed to like sell a limited amount in Dutch. Like they distributed like a limited amount of them, like 1,000 copies in Dutch, and they sold out like really quickly. Which I think that's really funny. Like no. So there's like 1,000 copies in Dutch somewhere out there. Apparently there's one VTuber, like friend of a friend owns one. They commented that under my like Twitter post, so that's funny. So since the first three are pretty much Harry Potter, does that mean there will be soul-looking spectacles? I don't know. Like, apparently the first one is like very Harry Potter, and then they kind of like branch out. Who knows, honestly. Oh, the first 6 books, I was like, okay, we are not reading. And don't tell me that shit. We are not reading like even the whole first book, guys. I just started like a little bit of it, and I thought, you know what? This shit is fucking funny, and I don't feel like drawing today. I'm fucking tired. So yes, we are just reading it just for funsies. So who's ready for some story time with Lera? Oh my god. Oh yeah, just a fair warning though, I can't read. I think I should have put it out there first. I can't really read. I'm really bad at reading, so that's gonna be fun. This other shelf of thoughts, of course. I'll take your entire stock. Read them in Russian? Yeah, because my non-Russian speaking audience will love that. But you're going to read the rest later, right? I'll consider it. We'll see. We'll see how much we'll like this. You're doing a reading stream and you can't even read? Yes, I've been doing this shit for ages. Like, I play video games on stream, but I can't fucking play video games. This is nothing new. I can't fucking read. Like, it's fine. It's okay. Read it in Spanish. Is there Spanish translation? Okay, so guys, Tanya Grotter and the Magical Double Bass. That's literally what it's fucking called. I cannot. Nice cover design. Like, those are nice colors. Like with the blue, green on the red. That's cool. She's fucking flying. She's literally flying on a double bass. That's not like the broom equivalent, is it? They don't actually fly on a double bass in this, do they? No way, right? Tanya is a woman? Yes, it's a girl protagonist. That's not what I expected. There's 14 chapters. That's 400 pages. But yes, Tanya is a woman's name. It's short for Tatiana. Like, the full name is Tatiana, and you shorten it by saying Tanya. Tanya sounds like a dude. No, it literally doesn't. But yes, it has 400 pages. Is the first Harry Potter book even that fucking long, man? Like, 400 pages. The baby in the... Who put a baby in the case, man? Who did that? Okay. I need to put like a straight face. I need to like try not to laugh while I'm reading this. I'm gonna do my fucking best. Ain't no way. The way I imagine that dude. Nope, it's a girl, Minami. Sorry. Sorry you wanted it to be a man, Minami. Sends the image. Oh yeah. My name's Tama the Filthy. But Tama is also short for like a longer name. I also have a cough. I apologize. This is not gonna be great. I'm really sorry, but it's okay. It'd be like that sometimes. Okay, chapter 1. Don't make me send the image of the baby in the case. On a bright autumn morning, when everything in the world appeared garish and excessively cheerful, and the foliage on the trees shone brightly as if layered in gold leaf, from the main entrance of a high-rise apartment house on Rublyovskaya Chassé? Wait, really? Okay, wow. Okay, that's a really rich neighborhood, right? Isn't that like a really rich Russian neighborhood? For like really rich people? No way. Okay, I thought Harry Potter was poor, or am I like wrong? Doesn't matter. Okay, appeared a tall, stoop-shouldered man in a grey topcoat. Known to all as German... German? Oh, German! Oh, this is a Russian name! It's spelled like German, but it's German. It's the name German, I think. German Durnyov. He was the director of the first second-hand socks? And the father of a year-old daughter named Pipa, short for Penelopa? Oh my goodness. It's Toma. Their Dursleys weren't poor, but they never gave Harry anything, so he was poor. Damn! Okay. Stopping under the main entrance awning, Durnyov looked around disapprovingly. The sun, whose rounded physiognomy was flat as a pancake, basked above the neighboring roofs as if lazily pondering whether it would be worth the bother to go on rising, just like me. I relate to that, pancake son. Or if he should just begin to set. A woman in an orange smock not far from the entrance reclined on a heap of leaves as she gazed into an open manhole. Her profile was attractive and gracious. I don't know what that even means in outline. I know what that fucking means how to describe a face, but okay. But her distended copper red hair involuntarily recalled thoughts of snakes? Damn, they just burned that poor ginger lady. Inside the manhole, someone violently romped and rumbled about. Inflated sparrows briskly pecked. Inflated sparrows? What? Pecked at something on the asphalt, jumping aside from passersby like bouncy rubber balls. What the fuck is this description? Inflated sparrows briskly pecked at something on the asphalt, jumping aside from passersby like bouncy rubber balls? No way. Hello, potato, how are you? Oh my goodness. So yeah, coins up with nicknames. Okay, so the way it works in Russian, like in a lot of Russian names, is that a lot of names get very heavily shortened, or not heavily shortened, but it's very normal to shorten names. In Russia, like my name is short for something longer. Like literally, it's like that. Like if you are called Tatiana, you're gonna be called Tanya. If you call Daria, you're gonna be called Dasha. If you call Alexandra or Alexandra, it works for both. You're gonna be called Sasha. Like, it's like that. I don't know why, but like, if you call Ivan, you're gonna be called Vanya. It's stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure, but like, it's really common in Russian to basically like shorten pretty much like any name. If you call Victoria, everyone's gonna call you Vika. Stuff like that. Like, it's not even like really common to be called by like your full name, especially by like friends and stuff, because like most names just get shortened. Like it's really, really normal. Oh my goodness, edizione russa. Maybe you should buy it, Matthias. Maybe you should read all of them. It stands for Leriana. Yeah, that's my full name. It stands for Lera, stands for Leriana. That's exactly what this is. Anyways, continuing onwards. From windows and basements, from playgrounds and narrow public squares, from treetops and the washcloth storm clouds hanging in the sky, from cat's eyes and women's handbags, from the exhaust pipes of automobiles, from the price tags in the shops and the still charred noses of the summer residents, from everywhere, rubbing together carrot yellow palms, stared the recently reborn infant October. This is the weirdest language I have ever seen, and I don't know if that's the translation or if the original was just written like that, but every single paragraph here is a trip. But it's not German, it's German. It's not German, it's German. That's the name, it's not the word German. I hate it here. But German Durnyov did not notice any of the beauty that surrounded him. The only interest weather and nature in general held for him came in determining whether or not to take an umbrella or place studded snow tires on his car. He checked his watch and took out a box of homeopathic pills. I don't know what homeopathic pills do. Sounds like drugs. The sun has some what? Shoot. What does that mean? I don't know that word. What the fuck does that even mean? What is that? Lera stands for Nevera. What? Your name is Larry? Yeah, no, if you're called Maria in Russia, you're more likely to be called Masha. That's like more common than being called like Mary or something. Yeah, Alisa doesn't... Sometimes they turn to Lisa, but not often. Elizabeth, your name is Elizabeth, you usually are called Lisa. Nevera is Spanish for visitor. Oh my goodness. Okay, I know that word means. I'm too lazy to look it up. Yeah, wrinkles Sumar. Yeah, that's understandable. That makes sense. Like, barely like anyone calls me Lera. They just call me by my full name, which I find really annoying. Like, outside of like people who like know me really well, because it's not really normal to shorten my name. Like in other countries, it's so strange. Like Russian name shortening system is really random. Not gonna lie. Like it's a bit. And some of them, like, you can't even fucking tell, like, what is gonna be shortened for. Some of them make sense, others don't really. Anyways. 1, 2, it's not even close enough to spit on. If only it would go out once and for all. Really, how could anyone be in a working mood on a day like this? 5, 6, sooner or later, I'll definitely get an ulcer. If I haven't one already. 7, he muttered, counting out the marble-like pills and placing them under his tongue. What, 7 pills? You're taking 7 pills, mate? You're gonna fucking die. This man takes drugs. When the marbles had dissolved, Durnyov thought he felt a little better and said to himself, well, now I should live to see dinner time, provided my new corn plasters don't just happen to give me blood poisoning. What? I'm so confused. What? This is page 3. What is all this out of context information? Little did Durnyov suspect he was being watched. A large, disgusting-looking bird, gloomy and bedraggled, with a long, molding neck on which almost no feathers were still left, was watching him from above the entrance. In his beak, the bird held a photograph that had been cut out from a magazine at which he now looked. Yes, he, German Durnyov, was the one captured in the photo, taken with his wife Ninel and their daughter Pipa at the All Russia Exhibition Center's International Suspenders Expo? This cannot be real. This cannot be real. Hello, Gerardo! They sell Tyler Grotter at a local store. Should I go get it? It's the Ford book. You should go. You should go get. Yeah, like Richard. Like Richard, basically. Yeah, like just like that. It's such a fucking trip, these books. Like, for real, for real. Occasionally, the bird lowered the clipping to the tin shingles and meticulously compared the present-day Durnyov to the one in the photograph. As he did so, disgusting greenish lumps of mucus dripped from his beak. ¿Por qué? Onto the picture? One could easily imagine how surprised Durnyov would have been had he randomly glanced up at what was sitting on the main entrance awning. German Nikitich, however... Okay. Now they're just randomly introducing that his third name is Nikitich? Really? You're just gonna throw it in there? No way. You can't just like suddenly refer to him by the third... What? Okay, whatever. German Nikitich, apparently that's his name, right? that's his name now. Okay. I'll go in a few days if I have time. Yeah, I doubt it's gonna sell out, Matthias. I think you're good. I don't think anyone's gonna snatch it unless I popularize the books. Yeah, that was never mentioned, right? They just randomly throw his third name in here. Whatever. Not the one of those who pay attention to birds, with the exception, of course, of a boiled hen lying before him on a plate. Mood. Moreover, at that given moment, the dodgy mind of the second-hand socks firm director was busy working out, like in big font, working out how to clear 2 railroad cars' worth of used handkerchiefs being passed off as children's goods through customs. What? What? Bro, I don't understand anything. Does anyone understand anything out of what we are reading right now? Durnyov descended from the porch and, stepping on some charmingly bright yellow leaves, ground them under his heels several times with explicit pleasure. After doing so, he passed by a great many other leaves with complete indifference before starting his new black automobile. The car snorted before finally starting. The naked-necked bird quickly tore away from the awning and flew after the automobile, obviously not willing to lose sight of it. Okay, so there's a bird spying on him, and he has another name, and he's trying to use the handkerchiefs through customs, and he sells second-hand socks, which is a very interesting profession. Not really. What is this book about? I don't fucking know. The bird seems to be a vulture. Yeah, I thought so too, with like the naked neck, right? The woman sitting on the lawn, whom Durnyov had casually assumed to be a repair woman, followed the bird with her piercing eyes and muttered to herself, "What's the macabre griffin doing here? I'd like to know. The last time we crossed paths was at the launch of the Titanic? I can't recall what happened to that steamship offhand, but I've no doubt it was something awful." She raised her hand on the middle finger of which was a sparkling ring, and in a low voice whispered, "Oh, not the magic thingies, Iskris frontis, whatever. Iskris front? I don't fucking know." A green spark instantaneously shot out of the ring and synced the birds' sing the birds' wing. I know what that means. I cannot read. Losing feathers, the macabre griffin collapsed like a stone onto the asphalt, curled out hoarsely, then took off again, heading toward the nearest apartment building. I don't understand what's happening. I heard not to trust people with 2 first names. Now I shudder at the thought of someone with 3 first names. Did I ever tell you guys how the third name system works in Russia? Maybe I haven't. Like, there's like this really weird third name system. It's basically like the name of your father. Like, it depends on like the name of your father. So for example, if your father is called Alexander, I don't know, you're gonna be called, your third name is gonna be Alexandrovna or Alexandra. I don't know how to gender them. Yeah, they get gendered too. It's a nightmare. Alexandrovich, that's it. Yeah, so yeah, it depends on like your father's name, and it's like a really formal way. So see how this guy's like third name is Nikitich? I'm assuming his father is called Nikita then. Yes, I think so. I don't know, it's been ages. I left Russia for a good reason. No, yeah, we do gender them. Like, it depends on like if you're like a girl or a boy. Russia genders everything. It's such a nightmare. Like, everything is gendered in Russia. It's actually like, I don't know how like non-binary people survive there. Like, everything. Yeah, if you speak about yourself in first person, it gets gendered. It's actually ridiculous. But yeah, and basically that third name is like an extremely formal way of addressing a person. Like, for example, all of teachers in schools, you call them by their first full name and their third name. So you skip the surname part. You just call them by the first and the third name. And that's like a super formal way of addressing someone. That's like how you would address a teacher, someone you don't really know, maybe like a superior at work. It's like a really formal way of addressing somebody. Like, obviously you wouldn't say that to like a friend, but yeah, like, it exists for like formalities and stuff. I don't fucking know. It's really strange. I've never like encountered that kind of system anywhere else. So yeah, like, it's basically an obsolete name anywhere like outside of like places where it's the same thing. So yeah, we don't really like use it obviously like in Europe or anything like that. I'm pretty sure like it doesn't even go into your passport if you get in like an international one. Like, if you have a father called Vladimir, you have the third name of Vladimirovna or Vladimir, yeah, like that. Anyways, what was I reading? Which part was I at? Sorry, I feel like it's just gonna end up being like a lot of trivia about Russia. So isn't that great, guys? Aren't we happy learning all these things? The mysterious woman blew on her incandescent ring. I hate these living corpses. They cannot be killed a second time. Dealing with unholy spirits is really so much easier, she complained. Meanwhile, who is she complaining to, herself? Meanwhile, in a manhole, something once again fell with a terrible crash. Water splashed. What is that supposed to be? Like a sneeze? Ouch. The sound from inside the manhole was so deafening, even the manhole cover jumped. Forgetting about the bird, the repairwoman, if of course she was a repairwoman, because she obviously is, anxiously bent over the manhole. Academician, you're catching a cold. Okay, that was a sneeze. That's not how you spell a sneeze. You said like I chew or something. That's just ach. What the fuck is that? I hope a shrew appears. Hello, Crown. You're a 700. Are you actually? Oh my goodness. Let's go. Thank you. I would never call my friend Anastasia. Exactly, like, you don't call your friends by, like, the full names. Like, you just don't do that. It's weird. Okay, so. You're catching a cold. I beseech you, at least put on a scarf. Medusia? Medusia? That's her name? Medusia, don't be foolish. A scarf is of no use to a diver. The voice answered immediately. Okay, that's a lot of information. But this did not calm the woman one bit. I swear by the hair of Drivnir, this is completely unacceptable. Just think of it. You, the academician of bright magic himself, the head of the TB Dog School. No way. Of magic. Sardanapal Chernomorov. Sardanapal Chernomorov. Oh, these names. They don't even sound good in Russian. Like, you think they sound stupid in English? They don't sound any better to a Russian person. Chernomorov, really. Have been reduced to removing the simplest of the unholy spirits' incarnation. Wait, what is that word? I can't read all these words! I don't understand! Oh my goodness! Oh, there you go, Crown. We got your sacrifice. It takes a while for the sacrifice to process, but thank you so much for sacrificing your soul to that friend. No, what the fuck is that word? Incantati. Wait. Let's see.
Incantations.
Is that what it says? Incantation.
Incantations.
Okay, apparently it just means this magic spells or charms. Why would they use such a... What the fuck is this vocabulary? It was like a kid's book. I have always wanted to be a bloodsucker. Well, this is your lucky day. This is your very lucky day. Because today only we have a special offer. This is going to be a long read. Stop! Incantations. Where, may I ask, are our junior mages? Where are the assistants? She asked sternly, pursing her lips. Oh, I cannot read. I word yellow and I can't read. I'm sorry. The rumblings in the manhole ceased. To the surface rose a short, ruddy-faced fat man dressed in a dripping wet orange smock. No, pardon me, not a smock, but a cloak. Only an observant onlooker would have mistaken it for a smock. And even then, only at first glance. His companion wore exactly the same orange cloak. Okay, he just keeps sneezing. I don't want to read the sneezes. I don't know how to make that sound. Gonna be very snack. I'll need 7 out of 400. No, stop. We're only on page 6, actually. Medusia. All this is really nothing to get so worked up about. Without practice, I would become a helpless armchair magician. Armchair magician? In under 2 years. Are there any laser bones among us who can never turn into a pig without their ring? To say nothing of the higher disciplines such as theoretical magic, levitation, protection from evil eyes, or the production of talismans. Having ended what, in his opinion, was an unbearable argument, academician Pal? Among Us? No, not Among Us! Stop! I'm only 6 pages in. I keep getting distracted. I want to talk to you guys. This is a just chatting stream with a bit of reading. I never promised anything about a lot of reading. Raised himself up on his tiptoes and cheerfully surveyed the scene. The right side of his mustache was green, the left side yellow. That's pretty cool. But that wasn't even the strange part. What made this mustache truly strange was that it never rested for even a second. It twined and twisted like 2 living ropes and tried to coil around the temples of the fat man. Do you really have to keep calling him fat? What the fuck, man? It's okay, you said it once. You don't have to say it again. Jesus fucking Christ. Glasses so as to pull them right off his nose. Not that that would have done much good, of course, since the glasses were clearly held on not with their temples, which had long since come loose, but with a special incantation. I know this word now. You promised to read all 16 books. No, I didn't. I literally did not. Stop gaslighting me. I feel like an elementary student hearing other kids reading and having trouble reading big words. Shut up! As for the academician's beard, its color was altogether impossible to pinpoint, since it would appear, then disappear all the time. Only one thing was known for sure: his beard was phenomenally long. So long, in fact, it had to be wound repeatedly around his chest, its ends hidden in a pocket. Bro, what the fuck is this I can't even imagine this character in my head. Like, I can't. Lera told me she'll read the book. But what if I forget he's fat? I hate it here. I really do. I can't even picture his character design. Can anyone? Can anyone? Like, I fucking can't. Finding out the same that his cloak was soaked through. The head of the School of Magic muttered. Pirvachus Barabanus. Okay. Stream engulfed his clothes, and after a few moments, they were completely dry. Ah, what a wonderful autumn day, exclaimed Sardanapal, turning to his companion. It's just like the day my head was chopped off for the first time? Wouldn't you agree? Okay, I need a drink. Remember when your head got chopped off for the first time? Wasn't that a good day? Hello, dead man. How are you? The unholy spirit studies instructor that sent Medusia Gargonova, really. The Gorgon Medusa, really, that's her name. Okay. Fine. Grimaced as she ran her fingers up her neck. You can expect nothing but dirty tricks from the Lopuhoids. These have been real words. My head was chopped off too, by some unruly fellow in winged sandals staring into his shield. Back then, I was a badly brought up witch with nightmarish habits, and only you, academician, managed to reform me. Okay, so she's actually the Medusa? And she's like, had her redemption arc now? Good for her. Good for her. Oh my god, I cannot do this. Medusa, eh? Don't look her in the eyes. But the day my head was chopped off the first time, it was like everything changed. I was a new man. I can imagine, yeah. These names are killing me. Why can't they have a simple name like Pepe or Jose? There's a Pipa. Sardanapal's mustache shivered with delight. Stop it. How many times can you possibly thank me for that? Sticking your head back on was a piece of cake. It wasn't even necessary to use any serious magic, for a commonplace corkscrewing spell was sufficient. What spell? And then if you forewent any of your previous habits, praise and honor to you. My services were minimal. How can you say that? Exclaimed Medusia. It was I who changed travelers into statues. Anyone who looked at me instantly turned to stone. Nonsense. Hey, nonsense! You're featured in this! Congratulations. Don't even think about that. You were just a very young girl with a bad case of acne? No way! There is no way! There is no fucking way! They just said that! There is no way! You were just a very of acne. Oh my god, no way! Why didn't you tell us you were in Tanya Grotter? Oh, this book is so bad. Because you had pimples. You enchanted those poor fools who happened to see you? Frankly speaking, I didn't blame you one bit. Those ancient Greeks were always sticking their curious noses everywhere. You even went to an island to get away from their prying eyes, and still they roamed about nearby swinging their swords. All that it took of me was to cure you of those pimples, and then you became beautiful? No way. There's no way. How? This cannot be real. This cannot possibly be real, guys. How is this a real book? How is this fucking real? I cannot believe what I'm reading right now. Even Everlaska Shape. Okay, that's a really famous Russian folklore character. You can read into that if you want. Constantly blushes whenever he comes to Tibidogs. Tibidok. I don't fucking know. Flying on the skeleton of his faithful horse. That miserable old relic. 40 kilograms of silver-plated bones. A golden skull. Amber teeth. And all that in armor from Paco Groban. Okay, Medusa frowned. But you don't disagree that he's fallen in love with you. The Saint Gorgonova blushed with embarrassment. Okay, he's like, what, a million years older than her? Red spots suddenly flared up all over her cheeks, looking something like cherries. Really now? She was ugly because she had pimples? No, I cannot believe. This is satire, right? Like, it has to be. This has to be satire. Sardanapa, I cannot read his name like ever. Sardanapa, I beg you, she exclaimed reproachfully. The academician of bright magic's whiskers twitched with guilt. Curse this malice. Ever since I suddenly drank some nastoika with harpy poison, I just can't seem to get rid of it. I've tried dragon liver, a half glass of brilliant green with a drop of basilic bile in the morning and before bed. Nothing helps, he complained. Don't beat yourself up. I wasn't offended. I simply do not like it when anyone mentions that name around me. Medusa softened. Now, you'd better tell me, were we really dragged all the way here from TB Dogs just to disenchant this squalid manhole that steals keys and coins from passerby? And don't try to be sneaky. We have, after all, known each other for 3,000 years. Oh wow, these people are old. Damn. Nastoika. Oh yeah, Nastoika is like a type of drink. It's I can't really explain. I don't know how to explain. There's a Leopold in this! Wait! There's a Leopold in this! Oh my god! Oh my god, not the Leopold Grotter! Oh, spoilers. Spoilers. Spoilers, but okay. Hold on. Hold your horses. No, go back! Oh, no way. Sardanapa looked disapprovingly at his companion and blew his nose into a gigantic handkerchief decorated with stars, which had suddenly and mysteriously appeared in his hand. The stars on the handkerchief winked and clustered in the fantastical constellations, with the constellation Aret attempting to blow meteorites at the constellation Sagittarius. Medusa, you're thinking like a sorceress. Put yourself in the shoes of an ordinary person. Keys are not junk. People deprived of their keys have a real chance of spending the night on a bench and catching a head cold. Like myself, for example. You have a head cold because you didn't put on a scarf when we flew over the ocean. And the needs of the Lopuhoids concern me very little. Their world is filled with enchanted manholes, insane turnstiles, and basement doors that slam shut by themselves. The unholy spirits don't sit idly by. As soon as we leave here, this manhole will be enchanted all over again, and there's nothing we can do about it. Seeing that his companion has become agitated, Academician Sardanapal blew gently on his handkerchief, and it melted away in his palm, having first turned into a midnight blue washcloth. Pardon me, Medusa. Recently, I've come to suspect that someone has also enchanted my sense of humor. Me. Leopold Grotter, I cannot. I've come to I haven't yet ruled out that it was both. Oh no. No, please. Please, no, don't do this. No. Oh my god, it was Tajik Jin whom I forbade from arranging dust storms. No way, man. You saw the man? The one who just came out of that entrance? Yes, I saw him. But how did you know? I mean, you were underground. Sardanapal smiled mysteriously. Oh, if I want to see something, a few meters of asphalt... Meters of asphalt won't stop me. What did you think of him? An extremely unpleasant type. But even from a Lopuhoid, I'd usually expect better. Now, Medusia, don't be so harsh. At least out of respect for Leopold Grotter's memory. Right. Leopold Grotter? Did he know him? Exclaimed Medusia, shocked. Sardanapal nodded. That's one way of putting it. He's his relative, and a rather close one at that. All in all, his grandmother's sister's second cousin once removed. Okay, naturally the Lopuhoids would consider them barely even related, but you and I both know the formula of mage kinship from Astrocactus, the paranoidal? No way. He's one of Grotter's relatives, so that's why we... Oh, I cannot do this. Yeah, he's dead. That's okay, that's fine. I wouldn't bear it if he was alive. I don't even know, like, this is just so ridiculous. Like, the words... This is, like, I would maybe read the words better if I saw what they look like in Russian. Because it's really hard to sometimes read some of these, like, made-up words and, like, names when they're, like, written with, like, English letters. But, like, I don't know, I'm trying to think about some of them in Russian and I genuinely cannot tell what they're supposed to be read as. He's dead? Good. He was my favorite character! Mine too. Shh, the academician suddenly raised his finger to his lips, ordering Medusia to be quiet. Both ends of his mustache sprang up at once and pointed at the manhole. Nodding, Medusia noiselessly stole up to the manhole and, crouching down, sharply thrust her hand into it. In that same moment, a disturbing screech was heard from the well. A manhole is not a well. There's something in here. I've got it. Stop that, shouted the unholy spirit studies instructor. When Medusia's hand resurfaced, her fingers were firmly clenching the ear of a small maiden with green hair and an uneven violet nose. Why are you grabbing her by the ear? That must hurt. The feet of the hissing maiden were strange, flat, and very much like flippers. The captive hissed, spat, clicked her triangular teeth, and attempted to kick Gorgonova, first with her right flipper, then her left, then both alternatively. I'll gill you dead, let me go. I'll peg out your eyes. I'll glow you to shreds. Fui to you. Tui? What? What does that even mean? She screamed furiously. She sounds like an anime girl, I guess, yeah. Leopold just don't live long. Well, time to kill my Leopold in my story. Minami's favorite character. Manhole thrust, peg, Lera, this is sus. It's gonna be fine, I'm sure. Look at that, a young Kikimora. Oh, it's a Kikimora. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Kikimora is also like a folklore thing. Curious specimen, rather large. Chernamorov commented, scrutinizing Medusia's catch with interest. Not another unholy spirit, Medusia winced in disgust. Sometimes I start to doubt whether the nothing one has really disappeared? Who the fuck is the nothing one? First someone sent that macabre griffin, and now there's this monstrosity? Hey, stop fussing. Gah, a monstrosity? You got that right. Let go of me, you ugly groan. It's my own business why I'm here. Keep your nose out of it. What are these words, Fui, to you? The young Kikimora shrieked, never abandoning her attempts to kick Medusia with her flippers. This made it necessary to hold her at arm's length, which wasn't easy given to the Kikimora was quite plump. Why did they describe them all like that? Hello, Saucecat, what are we reading? We are reading this incredibly terrible Russian parody of Harry Potter, and it is not going well. This is awful. Kikimora. Leo, baby girl, single mother. Doggo, you're just lewd. The best book. Sounds great. I might be lost a bit. You're not the only one. I really don't. I am not following the plot that well either. It's okay. Stop wailing. Who sent you? Speak, Medusa demanded sternly. One get me to grab, glueless old hag, and now I think I'll put a curse on you. You'd look great in a coffin. Okay. This character's speech is like clearly like meant to be like that, but I don't understand. Goffin, really? Goffin? The young Kikimora squealed angrily, trying to accompany her words with well-aimed spit. Oh, she's just like me, for real. Gargonova glared sternly at the Kikimora with her piercing eyes. So would you, she said threateningly. I'll speak as requested. The sly Kikimora instantly changed her tune and proceeded to sorrowfully relate that she was but a miserable orphan. And how could anyone hurt an orphan like her? Okay, she just had a very quick change of character. And all Gorgonova had to do was like threaten her a little bit. Like, wow, what a girl boss. You heard yourself, little orphan. Sardanapal chuckled. The academician pretended to bring his finger towards the Kikimora's mouth, and immediately her sharp, triangular teeth snapped like a trap. Had Sardanapal not jerked his hand back, it would have been down one finger. Nice. She won't tell us anything, I know her type, but she's not going about her own business here, that much is certain. Maybe we should preserve her in alcohol for a museum somewhere? Then she won't be able to inform on us to anyone? Oh my goodness! Proposed the Holy Spirit Studies instructor vigorously shaking the young Kikimora by her ears? Oh my goodness! Who even came up with these words? The Russians. Our people are kind of bad. No, this book is literally called Tanya Grotter. Okay? There's Harry Potter, and this is called Tanya Grotter. They didn't even try. This book got sued. And it's not actually allowed to be published in like other languages legally because of like a lawsuit against J.K. Rowling. This is a great time. This book is just... I don't know, man. I hope it goes down in history. I hope people don't forget about it. I think it's important to keep remembering this book forever. Did you know McDonald's stopped bringing Russia, so Russia had to rebrand the reference? They did! They just completely like rebranded it so it's the exact same thing but under a different name. It's so stupid. Like, life doesn't teach them anything. It really doesn't. Anyways. God, I don't want to get pickled. I'll keep quiet. The keep quiet is quiet. You never heard. The Kikimora cried, blue murder at the top of her... The Kikimora cried, blue murder at the top... What does that even mean? Okay, you know what, doesn't matter. No need, Medusa. Bottling her away won't be the least bit necessary. I shall make it so she forgets everything. With an adroitness you would have never expected from an awkward, phlegmatic man with a pot belly, Sardanapal grabbed the Kikimora by a flipper and blowing into her ear pronounced in an undertone, Scleroticus marasmaticus! No! No, please, no! Oh my god, no way, no fucking way, no fucking way! Russia's a weird place. Yeah, it's horrible, it really is. Right. Anyways. Oh no, and then it says Polnissimo debilissimo. No! No! This has to be satire, right? This has to be satire. Scleroticus marasmaraticus polnissimo debilissimo. Oh my god, no way! I can't even translate these puns to you guys. I don't even know where to start if I tried. Oh, this is so bad. Is there anyone here Russian or no? No, I only have maybe like a couple Russian viewers. Most of my algorithm. I have a weird amount of Spanish-speaking viewers. Doggo speaks Russian. I think everybody else in my chat at the moment does not. Right? It's so funny. Like, do you think this is satire? I can't tell. After this, he called coolly? What kind of word is that with 2 O's and 2 L's? I've never seen such a word. What is the vocabulary this uses? Unclenched his fingers, dropping the spy onto the grass. For a while, the Green Maiden shook her head furiously, clearly in a state of great confusion. She looked blankly at Sardanapal and Meduzia without the slightest interest. After taking a few wobbly steps across the lawn, the young Kikimora partially regained her senses, snorted contemptuously, and waddled towards the manhole before jumping inside like a soldier. From the manhole splashed a minuscule fountain of water. Several bad words were heard, and then there was complete silence. Then they just man in blacked her. Except they didn't even like explain anything. They just put the man in black, but they didn't even like try to like give her anything. Damn. Coolly? Is that really how you spell coolly? Is that a real word? Oh my goodness. I speak Russian. Sure you do, Minami. Sure you do. She swam away, said Sardanapal, indicating the direction with the green end of his mustache. All these unholy spirits get terribly tiresome. It's high time we put a spell on them so they can't go poking around the Lopukoid realm anymore. They could upset the equilibrium of forces one day, and then things would go very badly for all of us. Meduzia clicked her tongue anxiously. Sardanapal easily brushed off her concerns. Nonsense, there she is again! Meduzia, you're exaggerating. As always, unholy spirits are confused creatures, arising from the chaos that has been partially preserved since the times of paganism. Yes, there are many unholy spirits, dozens of times more than there are of us mages, bright and dark, but they were never able to agree on anything among themselves. As far back as I can remember, unholy spirits have always violated prohibitions, played dirty tricks on the Lopukoids, and rattled the equilibrium. But as long as the hair of Drevnir is intact and the gates still stand, nothing threatens our world, not even from the side of the dark mages, whom we will in no way smoke out from TB Dogs. But what about the Nothing One? It's true, she was the only one who ever managed to organize the unholy spirits and set them against us. Moreover, she nearly succeeded in forcing us, mages, to surrender our positions to her. If not for Leopold Grotter, there he is, our favorite character, and his newborn daughter. Not only Grotter, you were never afraid of her, academician, even when she was in power. Sardanapal shyly blushed pink. Oh, you know, I was always ready to say her true name out loud. Chuma del Tort. Guys, Voldemort is female in this too. So both Harry Potter and Voldemort are both female in this. This is a girl boss book for girl bosses. I was just spoken so I can understand these words. Trust me, Saucecat, I'm reading this, and I feel like even if I was reading this in Russian, I would still be so fucking confused. Like, this is like the most confusing and weird book I have ever read. And I don't even think it's the translation. I think it's just fucked up. She's caked. Voldemort is a lady. Yeah. Amazing. And her name is Chuma del Tort. Because that's totally valid. Tort means cake, by the way. Chuma means like the plague. Is a plague cake? Okay, whatever. Plague cake. Sure. Do you see Chuma del Tort and nothing terrible happens? No sooner had the academician's resounding voice bounced against the labyrinth high-rise behind them than a loggia window on the third floor exploded into smithereens as a gleaming iron smashed through it, whipping itself with its cord. Whistling through the air, it aimed right for Sardanapal's head, grabbing at the hems of his cloak. The academician briskly jumped aside and muttered something. In that same moment, the iron turned to steam. "Did you see that? The nothing one tried to kill you," Medusa exclaimed with fright. "Nonsense, there she's again!" There she's again! Tu madre que! I'm crying, laughing so hard right now! Does she have a nose? I don't know, she better not, man. Maybe she has a cake for a nose or something. Chuma is long gone, the old biddy. One of her old incantations was activated, that's all. She has thousands of them scattered about everywhere. Sardanapal smiled and stepped on the surviving cord of the iron, which was attempting to wrap around his leg. Medusa shouted with disgust. By some unknown means, in her slender hand, there appeared a lorgnet with which she examined the parts of the destroyed iron. What an abomination! Another of Vlopoko's nasty inventions. Let's get going. There's nothing more for us to do here. Chernamorov shook his head. And that is where you're mistaken. It has come time not to carry out the most unpleasant and difficult part of our mission. I started telling you about it, but we were interrupted. We must, no matter how hard it is for us, leave Tanya with that man you saw earlier. Medusa Gorgonova recoiled. Her disheveled copper-red hair suddenly stood on end and hissed. Had a random passerby who knew naught of Medusa's long ago past seen her as that is... What? Wait, hold on. I can't read that sentence. Had a random passerby who knew naught of Medusa's long ago past seen her at that instant, they would have sworn they had just seen a ball of wriggling snakes. Right, okay, that was a weird sentence. What? Did I hear you correctly? You want to hand over Leopold Grotter's daughter to that pitiful Lokopoi? The girl who miraculously was able to survive in a struggle with the Nothing One? The girl who made the Nothing One disappear after their encounter? Catching the angry notes in Medusa's voice, the academician hastily turned away so as not to accidentally look in her eyes. You can ward off ancient magic, but it still has its side effects. Tu madre que... I'm so famous! I feel like I've been hit in the head with a rock and was forced to translate. No, like what is happening? Like this is so wild. I just can't. This book is amazing. Aren't you guys enjoying? Like this is like the best like stream ever. Medusa, we have no other choice, he said softly. There's simply nothing else we can do. I swear by the hair of Drevnir, I would rather let my mustache be shaved off and my beard trimmed than give Grotter's daughter to that Lopochot. But we simply must do it for the good of all Tibidogs. But why? Exclaimed Medusa, why? The greatest of the mages sat down on a pile of leaves and stretched out his legs in their old-fashioned, faded stockings. The last time he had been in the human world was during the reign of Yekaterina II, and now, trying to dress fashionably, he was a bit off target. I shall tell you everything that happened that night. You remember 3 days ago when it all happened, that terrible thunderstorm that broke out? Clearly of magic origin, even now we still don't know who sent it, added Medusa. Precisely. On that night, in through the window of the main tower of Tibidox, where, as you know, my alchemical laboratory is located, flew a shivering little cupid in soaking wet red suspenders. That's it, just the suspenders, he wasn't wearing anything else? Sardanapal reported. His mustache immediately formed 2 little hearts. It delighted in teasing its master a little. Hiding a smile, Docent Gorgonova licked her lips. Okay. I can't. That word like sends me into a different dimension. I'm trying to comprehend. This is so full of overused Russian folklore names. It is, right? I'm like not even like tastefully. A Cupid came to see you. After all, a Cupid means war. And I want to read it like Spanish, but book any good, Taurus. This is one of the worst things I have ever read, and I'm really enjoying it. And nothing of Russian folklore. Russian actually has like a really rich folklore. Like, it's actually pretty interesting. There's a lot of really cool stuff in the Russian folklore. So like, if you're ever bored, you can like look into it. But yeah, there have been like a few like folklore names here. They're very common in Russian fairy tales. Should we read Russian fairy tales, guys? Maybe we should do that one day. I think it'll be fun. Russian fairy tales are so interesting. The mustache ran out, offended. Is mustache alive or something? Like, I don't get it. The right and even tried to flick Medusa's on the nose, but it couldn't quite reach. I know perfectly well what a cupid means, said Anapal said dryly. I should hardly get them confused with harpies. Nor with Domovoys. Domovoy is another one. Nor with the members of Vtuber's Dragon Ball team? No way. Let it be known to you that the purpose of his visit was far from romantic. In this dull century, love has increasingly become all too often expressed over the telephone. The arrows... Oh no. But yeah, how are you doing, Saras? We don't have anything cool folklore in America. That is a common complaint I've heard, yeah. Basically, a Domovoy is like a house spirit. Dragon Ball, yeah, there's Dragon Ball in this. I'm losing even more branches, but yeah, what that one that they mentioned here, the Domovoy, it's like a spirit that lives in your house. They are like considered to basically look after your house. Like, they live in your house and they're like, you know, they're kind of like I don't know, they're kind of like a spirit that basically like looks after your house. It's like, they're not meant to be like evil spirits or anything like that. They're generally believed to be like nice. So yeah. Anyways, where was I? Oh god, I know where I was. I know where I was. Tesco Mildil, hello! We are reading a Russian parody of Harry Potter. They're like a brownie? Wait, really? They're nice if you respect them. Yes, they're nice if you respect them. If not, then not really. I just want to relax today, but I'm already hooked on this. Me too, I'm so tired. I've actually an hour already passed and like, I'm like, wow, look at this. Arrows of armor no longer pierce anyone. Their skin has become painfully thick, and so these wrenched cupids keep busy by delivering mail. They have to earn their nectar and ambrosia somehow. So this little cupid wrung out his wet suspenders and handed me a letter from Leopold Grotter. There he is again, Leopold. Grotter's last letter, exclaimed Medusa. Her irony evaporated immediately. But you never told anybody. Sudden Napalm's mustache swished with the speed of an automotive windshield wiper, showing that this was the most serious of all secrets. Of course I haven't told anybody, and you will soon see why. I shall tell the truth only to those whom I absolutely trust. I sent the little cupid on to warm up in the Russian banya. Oh, banyas are Russian saunas. To tell the truth, I'm rather glad the Cyclops installed one in the basement. Ah, Russians with their random saunas like in houses. Although someday their steam room will certainly explode, and immediately began reading the letter. It was very laconic. Grotter reported that after countless failures, he had finally succeeded in creating the talisman of the 4 elements. Medusa's pupils narrowed. She looked anxiously at the manhole, checking to see if any curious, uneven faces were peering out. YouTube recommendations be crazy. Sometimes you just get this like random VTuber reading a Russian parody of Harry Potter on your YouTube recommendation. It's popular in Alaska. That's not surprising. Alaska used to be Russia. There's a good amount of folklore in the US, but you have to look at the tribes and pueblos. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Okay. I must be losing my mind, she muttered, stunned. The talisman of the 4 elements, containing the forces of fire, air, earth, and water. A talisman that gives the one who bears it enormous power. The one who wields that talisman might even be able to challenge the likes of the nothing. Yes, Chuma del Tort. Courageously revised Sardanapal, involuntarily glancing up to see if another iron would come whistling down. Grotter wrote that in order to create the talisman, he used 147 various components, among which I assume carnelian and mouse tears must have been present. Not the mouse tears, where'd he get that? Well, the rest of the secret he took with him to the grave. And the talisman? Have you got it? Medusa asked excitedly. The talisman was lost. It disappeared in a most incredible way, but you haven't heard the rest. As soon as the thunderstorm was over, I boarded the jet divan and flew to see Leopold Grotter. You flew on the jet divan? Okay, a divan is a sofa. What? Chernomorph was embarrassed, but however, it cannot be said very much so. I must be losing my mind right now. It's all good. But why did I say the word divan? Is divan like a word in English too? Do you guys refer to that as a sofa? Jet, not a fucking jet sofa. Like what? Not a jet divan. What the fuck? Oh, I guess it's like in the book, right? They had like a sofa that was flying, right? Like a flying. What book was it? It was some Russian book as well, right? I remember that. That must be a reference to this. I think that might be a reference. Okay. Shinomorph was embarrassed, but however, it cannot be said very much so. Yes, I know what you're about to say. Some of the students, especially those in the dark department, might have spotted and laughed at me. Still, the academician, the laureate of the Magic Suspenders Award, the legendary head of Tibidox flew about on a torn-up divan with plucked chicken wings. A divan from which copper springs stick out. But it was already quite late by then and no one saw me. Besides, why would anyone have been watching? Perhaps someone might have looked out a window after hearing a very small crash. True. I happened to plunge through the stained glass window in the hole of 2 forces. But after all, that glass had been crumbling for some time. Still, it had been there for 700 years. Oh my goodness. Not the jet divan. Harry Potter had a flying car. Well, they have a flying sofa in this book, so... Fire writing. I actually cannot live this shit. This is so ridiculous. Hello, Mr. Slendy Boy Divan. Oh, it's unbelievable. What a disaster. And here I thought the stained glass window had been shattered by lightning, thought the Medusa. At first I wanted to use the flying carpet. Oh no, there was a flying carpet as well, right? That's like an Aladdin or something. But leaving on the carpet in such a damp weather would have been a waste. The moths have gotten to it. Besides, the jet divan is almost 1.5 times faster. And as for the 7-league boot, I needn't even explain. Ever since they were hexed, their landing accuracy has been off by almost 20 verts. Of course, I could have taken a propeller mop or a flying vacuum cleaner. Okay, these are all just like really stupid, like, I don't even want to talk about it. But you know perfectly well how uncomfortable those are. During those flights, they make my back go numb, and the absence of a baggage compartment prevents one from taking even the smallest of bundles with oneself. The Unholy Spirit Studies instructor sighed to herself. She has such a long title. The Unholy Spirit Studies instructor, like really, just go by her name. They'd long since grown accustomed to the eccentricities of academician Sardanapal at Tibidox. He could easily, having mixed up epochs, shown up for classes in a Roman toga or accidentally set someone's earwax on fire after mistaking it for candle wax? What? I don't want to talk about this. Это не фанфик, это настоящая книга. Она была опубликована. Ее продают в магазинах. This is not a fanfic. This is Rowling, okay? J.K. Rowling felt threatened by this. It's so crazy to me when I think about this, actually. Like, when you think about it, this is so bad. This is so bad. But J.K. Rowling felt threatened enough to fucking ban this from being translated and being sold. Like... I can't. This is so funny. I cannot believe she genuinely felt like this could damage, like, her fucking franchise. Like, it's just so crazy, man. How much misspelling it in the... I don't know, fucking know. I can't even read, honestly. Anyways, I lost my cool there for a second. So sorry. Okay, he could easily have messed up. Okay, I just read that. And of course, there was that incident when the academician put a guest from Bald Mountain into a 3-month-long sleep after mistakenly reciting a gopher hibernation spell to him instead of a welcoming speech. But whatever else might be said about him, he was nevertheless still the greatest mage since Drevnir. Okay, are you listening to me, Medusa? It seems to me you have other things on your mind. There has so many like stupid references like the Bald Mountain and stuff. She never felt true fear until this drop. I need to put hand cream on. Are you listening to Medusa? It seems to me you have other things on your mind. The academician cast a reproachful glance at his companion, who, alarmed, belatedly realized she had forgotten to protect her thoughts from a shielding spell. What? He can read her thoughts? And we're just finding that on page 23? When dealing with a powerful mage, you should never overlook even the smallest detail. Man, girl boss forgot to like fucking... to fucking like hide her thoughts. Damn, she's like Phoenix Wright. She thinks too loud. Croissant. Spokojnej noci. Oh my god. Tanya Grotter held J.K. Rowling at gunpoint. Okay. So I flew to Leopold, continued Sardanapal. The wind was favorable, so it took no more than 3 hours for me to get there. Before even reaching his place, I could see that a swarm of unholy spirits had crowded around his house. Their behavior was most peculiar. They muttered incomprehensibly, moaned, walked around in circles, and seemed all around quite miserable. Upon noticing me, they dispersed in a matter of minutes. You know these spirits, first there are many of them, and suddenly all at once there are none at all. And none of them even tried to attack me, Medusa was astonished. Absolutely none. I couldn't believe my eyes. Only Chuma del Tort could have gathered so many unholy spirits in one place. But she certainly would not have missed the chance to settle her accounts with me. Therein lay the mystery. Not long ago, the unholy spirits were ready to tear us to shreds, but now it is as if they're forgotten we even exist. They occupy themselves only with their own petty squabbles. And then you suppose that the Nothing One had disappeared? Well, I wasn't entirely sure of that yet, but I had started to suspect that much. I approached Leopold's house and knocked. No answer. Then I pushed on the door and it opened. Or rather, it fell from that single touch. Everything in the house had been turned upside down. Load-bearing walls had collapsed. The railings were charred, and only splinters remained of the furniture. It looked like someone endowed with monstrous magical power had uttered the spell of total annihilation. I rushed to the laboratory. It had suffered most of all. Even the granite boulder that had served as a table for Leopold's experiments crumbled to dust as soon as I touched it. Sardanapal's voice faltered. Grotter and his wife, Sophia, they were already beyond help. Even from me, though, as you know, Medusa, I know little about magic. But here comes the miracle. In the middle of the laboratory, on the floor, cratered by incantations, amid the crumbling plaster, lay the case for their double base, and in it, a tiny girl, their daughter. Oh my god, she was in a fucking double base case. They knew the Grotters well, Medusia. They were people of art, mages who dealt with lofty matters, magic and music. That's what they lived for. For their child, they had not even a carriage. She got along with just a double bass case. Thinking the little girl was also dead, I bent down over the case and another miracle. There she was, sleeping. The silver scorpion of Chuma del Tord clutched in her hand. What the fuck? Cake. Plague cake. I think the story makes sense while drunk. Let me open a beer. Yeah, you probably need it. Stop picking out words like mo. Medusia drew herself up sharply. Her copper-red hair hissed like snakes again. But how? Was it really the same assassin scorpion for nothing one sent to sting her victims when she wanted to relish in their torment? Yes, but he couldn't injure the little girl, although I did notice 2 red specks on the tip of her nose. It looked as though the scorpion had struck her right in her maw. Even a light sting would usually have been enough to kill an adult mage, yet she, this tiny baby, simply crushed him. This year-old girl handled the silver scorpion without even waking up. It's incredible that she survived, but perhaps the scorpion's poison had expired or had already been used up, Gorgonova asked skeptically. No, there was plenty of poison still left, and Chuma del Tord didn't keep expired scorpions around. But even if we forget about the scorpion, something else remains. The spell of total annihilation. That formidable white flash that burns up everything in sight. That too failed to cause Tanya any harm. And indeed, that kind of magic is not the sort that affects the only selective things. It destroys everything and everyone nearby, save for the one who cast the spell. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is that Tanya has the plot armor and is like really strong. And the scorpion bit her on the nose and it expired. I cannot do this. A tear rolled down Medusia's cheek and fell to the heap of maple leaves. The leaves began to smoke. Medusia, why are your tears literal acid? That unknown folk storyteller who first called a woman's tears flammable undoubtedly knew a sorceress? Okay. Those poor, unlucky grotters. And what became of the talisman of the 4 elements, sobbed Medusia. I cannot get this. I don't understand. This is actually... I cannot do this. Hello, Cecilia. I was expecting the Russian accent. Oh boy, there it goes. Fun fact, we crush 6 scorpions every year in our sleep. However, we eat 0 spiders in our sleep. I guess that depends where you live, doesn't it, Boris? There are no scorpions, certainly, in my room. But hello, how are you, Cecilia? Alright. I was never able to find it, said Sardanapal. I cannot... His name, I don't know what it means. I don't want to deal with it. I don't fucking understand. Neither Leopold nor his wife Sofia nor their child had it. It was nowhere in the house. Most likely it was destroyed by the spell, along with all of Grotter's other inventions. True, at first I suspected Chuma del Tord had taken it away with her. But had that been the case, we would have known about it by now. No, she's definitely disappeared, and the strange behavior of the unholy spirits is the best confirmation of that. I don't know what happened in the Grotter's house, but that tiny girl did what no other mage could do. She stopped the Nothing One. Oh my god, I can't believe Tanya just defeated the main antagonist on page 26. Good for her, guys. She fucking defeated the main antagonist on page 26, like the girl boss she is. See, guys, if Harry Potter was female from the start, if Harry Potter was female, if he was a girl, there wouldn't have been much less books. Because girl boss, girl power, okay? Like Harry stood no chance, okay? Because he wasn't a girl boss. Tanya here on the other hand, beat his ass as a 1-year-old on page 26. I'm not sure why there are 14 books in this series, but that's fine. The names are so wrong and stupid. Do you think I'm reading them right, Dogo? What do you think? Hey, you Russian. Are you sure there's no scorpions in your room? There was the last time you checked. What if there's one right behind you right now? Okay, Ethan. Well, you crashed all scorpions in your sleep. That is why you don't see any, Lera. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, there's 14. It was 14 books, guys. Or am I wrong? I think there's 14 books, right? Tanya Grotter books. Let's see, how many books are there? Yeah, there's 14 books. There's 14 books, and then there's 2 spin-offs. There's 14 books, and then there's 2 spin-offs. Unbelievable. Actually, unbelievable that this is like real. There's 2 PC games. No, there's not! No way! Hello, Star Hunter Cat. No fucking way. Is there? Violet's Medusa. I guess I want to sound more like a name. No way! Hunter Cat, is that true? It can't be true. I know there's Harry Potter games. Stream and make review videos of his masterpiece. I read all 14 Tanya Grotter books, so you don't have to. Yeah, we really don't say it in Russia like that. We just say Medusa. Okay. Having only now noticed the burning leaves under her feet, Medusa pronounced a few magic words, accompanying them with a sight that she traced in the air with her magic ring. The fire went out. Traces of Medusa's sign hung weakly in the air for some time. She irritably waved them away with her hand. But why do you want to get the girl to that man? Why send her to the Lopocoid realm? Shouldn't we raise her in Tibidox? She asked in frustration. Medusa, have you forgotten what sort of place Tibidox is? You of all people should know it's absolutely no place for a baby. Just imagine it, a baby suddenly living in Tibidox, then there are no babies there? And what if Fiala's horror happens upon her? Or say, Pelmenik? Not the Pelmenik! No way that's a real name of a character in this. God, there's a character here named after a dumpling. Oh my goodness, I hate it here, I really do. There are games! Really? Are there actually games? There, you should play the game for Fridays. No, sorry, we are doing Kayla on Friday. Tanya Gotham disappearing floor is a point-and-click adventure game! Oh my god, they got fucking games! Oh, this is the most incredible fucking franchise ever. J.K. Rowling had no right to deprive the world from this by suing them. How could she have possibly fucking sued this masterpiece? This franchise deserves to be known by the world just how Harry Potter is. No, more than Harry Potter. Nobody even should like Harry Potter anymore after everything. This is the shit. Play the game. If I can find them, I'll try, guys. Okay. He places his coffin quilt, and just like the last time, it goes lurking about dark stairways, waiting to pounce on tardy pupils. And what about the Cyclops, who riot every full moon? Or Mangler, whom, by the way, you had absolutely no right to release from that red-hot cavern in the Earth's core, where he was being imprisoned? He promised he'd give up all his bad habits and become our doorkeeper. You yourself know that the Cyclops are hardly reliable. Those dimwits have heads like thieves, and Medusa justifying herself. And then, well, you know what happened then. Exactly, the invisible Mangler now roams the corridors of Tibidox, howling, wheezing, and doing whatever he pleases. And we can't even catch him, because he can only be reflected in the mirror of the Fates. And he doesn't show his nose around here, says Napal shout angrily. And you want me to bring the Grotto's daughter to... Okay. They are throwing so much lore and, like, information that I don't even fucking, like, It's too much information, Tanya Grotter. Like, chillax for a second there, please. Like, one paragraph is filled with so much information, I cannot do this. Ethan, bestie, please find... Ethan, Ifan, get on it. We need the Tanya Grotter games. Become Grotter YouTuber, Lera. It's your chance to copy. I will set lots of reminders to watch you play the game. It'll be... So you don't set lots of reminders already, Gerardo. I'm already looking. I love you, Ethan. Offer of all these books, Dmitry, you met is like Daria Donsova, very prolific Russian fun detective author, but for children. Oh, I didn't know he was like a popular writer. Actually, I had no idea. Oh man. Alright, let's see. But I can put up guard spells, the most powerful guard spells, which neither Mangler, nor Karachun, nor the Wooden Woman, nor the Eyeless Horror could get past. And the Phantom Wheelchair. The Phantom Wheelchair? Can you tell me you love me too? I love you, nonsense. Phantom Wheelchair! Oh my god, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Very popular demographics, actually. I did not know that. That's interesting. Not the Phantom Wheelchair! Oh my god, me too. Veva, tell me you love me. I love you. I have the determinants for your streams, but it would be special to see you play the game. I'm glad you think so. Oh my god. Okay, let's see. A fluttering coffin quill out of no real concern. They're only capable of harming neophytes who don't know the fending spell, Medusa said with contempt. And a newborn girl, in your opinion, would be able to use such a spell? No, of course not, but Sardanapal. We could always bathe her in the warding bath, and then the academician of bright magic interrupted her. Yes, I agree, we could. The coffin quilt is of little concern, a wheelchair too. The freezing mantraps and strangler statues are... The what? The strangler statues are probably just harmless? They are called strangler statues. Are you sure about that? But the hidden basement? If a disappearing floor, nothing to worry about? We still don't know what became of those two poor saps who managed to wend their way there. And finally, what about the gates of horror? What the fuck is going on in their school? Medusa shuddered. You're right, Sardan... I cannot ever read his name. Sardanapal, she said, defeated. I had forgotten about the hidden basement and the gates of horror. But this is the Grotter's daughter we're talking about. The little girl who managed to survive an encounter with the Nothing One, who withstood... The academician interrupted her again. Wow, he keeps interrupting her. Well, how rude. We don't know how she managed that, but we do know what it cost Leopold and Sofia. And to expose that little girl to danger again, besides that... Here, Sardanapal paused for a long time. There's another reason. It's extremely important that Tanya not be anywhere near Tibidox. At least, she must not go there for as long as possible. Why not? Medusa exclaimed hotly. Sardanapal gave her an admonishing look. I cannot tell you that yet, even though I trust you more than anyone else. But it is the same reason Grotter did not stay on at Tibidox, but rather took Sofia and their child into that wilderness where other than marsh Kikimori, werewolves, and unholy spirits, you would never meet anyone. And with that, and this was Grotter we're talking about, with his metropolitan education, excellent punctile, I don't know what that means, and daily habit of making music. Oh my god, he's a Vocaloid producer! Well, he was, he's dead. Another one, god! Do you understand, Medusa? Not really. Not really, but I'm trying to follow. The Saint Gorgonova nodded sadly, realizing that whatever had driven Grotter into the wilderness and forced him to leave Tibidox in the prime of his career had to have been very serious. Why is this chapter so long? Guys, this is chapter 1, it's already 30 pages long. Like, why is this chapter so fucking long? Usual Russian school, your average school in Russia be like. That's a whole BDSM. Well then, it's decided. Tonight, we shall return here with the child and leave her with German Durnyov and his wife. The sight of a poor orphan couldn't possibly fail to touch their hearts. They'll bring her up along with their own daughter. Oh man. You can't just like try and get pity out of them and hope that they will raise her just because she's an orphan. The girls are the same age. They'll be happier together. Come along, Medusa. It's time. Achoo! The academician suddenly sneezed so deafeningly, all the constellations were blown off his handkerchief at once, and the telephone booth that stood outside the apartment house toppled over with a crash. I told you you'd catch a cold, Medusa chastised him. 400 pages, yeah, I guess. Leopold Crust is my favorite Vocaloid. My head is actually spinning from this. Maybe 2 chapters per stream? It's been an hour and a half and we're only on the first chapter mystery. I don't know. I can't guarantee the safety of the download, but I found a site of a download for 2 tiny games. Oh no, that sounds sketchy. What's the domain? This chaos, I love it. Nonsense! There she is again! Nonsense, you are so... you're like a reoccurring character in this. Proud of you. Okay. Serenapal said angrily, stop fussing over my health. Anyone who has had his head chopped off 3 times needs not be afraid of a commonplace runny nose. Alright. I couldn't verify if it's safe. Okay, Dogo is willing to download. Test drive it! Oh. I don't know why you guys are long still, but I didn't commit to anything, mystery. Stop bullying me. I'm the most popular Tanya Grotter character for sure you are, girl, 100%. The academician of bright magic wrapped himself tightly in his orange cloak and, decisively treading on his own beard, marched past the neighboring houses to a small public garden. His restless mustache beat in time with his steps. 1, 2, 1, 2. Medusa followed after him. The multitude of passers-by who filled the street at that hour and hurried about their business paid them very little attention. And what, after all, should have aroused their curiosity, when all they saw was a shaggy mongrel and, a little further off, a thin, elegant borzoi with a long muzzle. Let me do it for you. Not the fucking borzoi in this! No, that's my favorite character. Let's see. Shrew? No, Mini Barzoi, not the shrew. Then I do it for you. And I do it for you. And all I do is for you. Russian Trojan! Kamchatka shrew! Yeah, Minami is currently obsessed with this Russian animal called the Kamchatka shrew. It's really cute. Hooking up a pair of disguise spells was a child's play for the seasoned magicians. Having taken 30 steps, academician Sardanapal awkwardly jumped up, clicked his knees together mid-air, and, muttering an incantation, I hate this word. I just learned this word today, but I hate it. Vanished into thin air. Medusa, like her mentor, did not possess the ability to instantaneously disappear from the human realm. She reached the public garden and took from behind some bushes a child's rocking horse painted with kuklama patterns. After verifying that all 12 amulets were in place, without which the horsey simply would not have been able to take off, she climbed aboard and abruptly, taking to the skies, disappeared among the cumulus clouds. I fucking hate it here. It was fascinating how even on a ridiculous children's rocking horse, the Saint Gorgonova managed to appear majestic. I kinda doubt that. Like, there's no way. There's no way she appears majestic on a ridiculous children's rocking horse. You just described it as ridiculous yourself. So how on earth does she appear whatever. All were also on the lookout for a certain vulture. If somewhere along the way the macabre griffin crossed her path, the poor wretch would be in trouble. But then he was already dead, so he had nothing to lose. The sun yawned lazily and rose over the rooftops. The unusual day continued. Is this still part of the first chapter? I'm so confused. Bruh. No way. Oh my god, the first chapter is 44. Okay, fine, that's fine. Do we want? Let's finish the chapter. Let's finish the chapter at least, right? We can do that. We can do that. We can finish a chapter, right, guys? What is that you're looking for? Minimis, use a project 5. Minimis, you're making him look for. Hello, Doma. How are you? a PS Vita game. Should we finish the chapter? Oh my god. I gotta do this. Wait, give me a second. There you go, okay. Oh god, I lost the... There it is. Okay, let's finish the chapter. German Durnyov had 117 bad moods. Oh my god, just like me, for real, for real. If the first mood could be described as only slightly bad, then the last, the 117th, was equivalent to a good force 8 storm. What? It was in this 117th foul mood that the head of secondhand socks returned home that day. On the road, it constantly seemed to him the other vehicles were moving too slowly, and every now and then he pounded on the horn with his fist. At the same time, he twice imagined the sound of the horn was too quiet, and so sticking his head out the window, he bellowed? I don't know that word. I know half of these words. Hey, what are you, a snail? Get out of the way! Out of the way! Do I have to go over there and knock some sense into you myself? Do you want to give a sick man a heart attack? Needless to say, Durnyov considered himself a sick man. The main reason German Nikitich's mood was so severely deteriorated was the persistent feeling some strange and mysterious forces were pursuing him and making him into a laughingstock. It had all started that morning when he had just left for work. Along the way there, something began to rumble in the trunk of his car so loudly it made his car jump. But when he pulled over to check, it turned out the trunk was empty. When Durnyov got back behind the wheel, he found a photo of himself clipped from a magazine, stuck to the windshield of his car. Moreover, it appears as if the clipping had been soaked in a puddle and then thrown into the glass by the wind. The firm director was so alarmed that when he snatched it off, his trembling fingers accidentally tore the photograph, ripping off part of his head. Perceiving this as a bad omen for him, German Nikitich immediately swallowed 30 tablets of serenity and washed them down in a bottle of valerian drops. Ah yes, the valerian drops. Hello, Shot. How are you today? Oh yeah, the server. I'm sorry, I genuinely forget to like invite people onto the server because I don't really publicly post the link to it because like I don't really want anyone coming in and like spamming it. But I don't really have a problem if you're like a viewer from my channel that like, you know, comes at least like more or less frequently and like I remember you. I don't really have a problem with joining you, apart from the fact that you have to be over 16. If you're under 16, you can't be on the server. Wait, hold on, give me a second. I'll DM me on Discord. This is my Discord. Like, message me on Discord and I'll send you like an invite, but you have to be over 16. And if you have like a different name on Discord than YouTube, like let me know who you are on YouTube, because if I don't recognize it, I might not invite you, okay? But yeah, other than that, it's fine. We're kind of unhinged on there, but it's just a fair warning. I'm just gonna put it out there right now. Listen to Grey? Hold on, Lera is Listen to Grey. No. You're wrong. Anyways, where did I stop reading? There you go. The Valerian drop. Drops. Anyways, doesn't matter. When he finally arrived at his office, he found his wastebasket had been overturned and all the trash from it unceremoniously shaken out onto the carpet. And not only had it been shaken out, it had also been infused with something rancid. The enraged Durnyov immediately fired the cleaning woman, although she swore she hadn't even gone into his office yet. Opening the safe to take out the company seal, he saw a pale mushroom with a thin stalk, which, when he reached out his hand toward it, spread a sticky, indelible mucus across his papers. After this episode, German Nikitich collapsed into his armchair and sat in it for a long time, sweating and grinding his teeth to teeny bits. Oh my god, I really relate to German. He's my kind of guy, for sure. The server should be 20 plus, honestly. Oh my god. Okay, 25, 26. I'm not at all nervous. What are you staring at me for? Get back to work. Didn't I ask for a price list for old toothbrushes? He shouted at an employee who had timidly looked in on him. The unfortunate employee slipped into his tiny cubicle, which smelled of moth-eaten sweaters and worn-out jeans, thanks to that wonderful smell description, collapsed into his chair and nearly died from horror. Needless to say, by that evening, Durnyov was completely on edge. Pour me something to drink. You'll see, soon something bad will happen, he moaned the moment he got home. Unlike his office, which was literally crammed from floor to ceiling with depreciated junk and worn-out things, everything in Durnyov's apartment was brand new. German Nikitich's wife, Nina, was as thick as her husband was thin. Why is this book so, like... Why is this book so fucking fat-phobic? Like, I don't understand. I cannot do this. Like, every character that, by the way, they're fat, and we will then give you like a really detailed description, like for no fucking reason. I can't. This is so... I cannot do this. Germanchik. Oh my god! It's all in your imagination, don't worry, so you're as green as a New Year tree. Now, let me kiss you on your little cheek. Nino cooed in her lush bass voice, comforting her husband by patting his frail back with her ring-studded hand. Oh god, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Enough of this much, grunted German Nikitich. Nevertheless, his bad mood dissipated a little, jumping down from number 117 to 66 and then to 50. After dinner, Durnyov had cheered up so much, in fact, that he wanted to play with his year-old daughter. Oh my god! He is being so kind, wanting to play with his own one-year-old daughter. That's crazy, guys. Penelopa, or Pipa as her parents affectionately called her, had inherited from her mommy beetling eyebrows and the figure of a suitcase. Really? And from her pappy, it's 1 year old, this kid! How do you know what it inherited? Most of its features are not even like formed yet. What do you fucking mean? I cannot do this. I cannot fucking do this. Naturally, the Durnyovs doted on her and considered their Pipa to be the world's #1 beauty. The heiress of the Durnyov family sat in her playpen, fully concentrating on breaking her doll. 3 other baby dolls were already lying decapitated on the floor. She's a girl boss in training too. Their heads impaled on rattles, used to decorate the playpen. What a clever girl. Soon she will be a director, just like her daddy, remarked the proud Durnyov. He leaned over the playpen and tried to kiss the top of Pippa's head. The girl grabbed her papa by his hair with her right hand and with her left, which was clutching a plastic spade, began to saw through his neck, obviously intending to do the same thing to him that she's done to her dolls. Aw, she's thirsty for blood. What a little paw, such a wonderful child, Daddy wheezed. He frayed his hair with some difficulty and, just in case, backed away from the playpen to where she could not reach or spit on him. Oh my goodness. Pippa threw her spade at him with considerable force, but only succeeded in knocking the vase off the television set. Why is she given something that can do that? She's 1 year old. Immediately smashing it into 100 little pieces? Oi, what a strong daughter we have! And with such great aim, Nin'll squealed with delight. Careful, she's taking off her boot, warned Durnyov, preemptively covering his head with his hands to guard against the rather heavy potential projectile. What the fuck is happening? We only have the 575 if I was thinking that. Oh man, that's so sad. Oh hey Lucas! At that moment, a call was suddenly paid on the apartment. The buzzer, which usually squalled mockingly, was now emitting a loud, almost triumphant drill. Durnyov and his wife both stared at once. Are you expecting someone, my little rat? Did you just call her husband your little rat? What the fuck? Are you expecting someone, my little rat? There's no way. There's no way. No, no one. Are you? Also no one, answered Nin'll, following German to the peephole. Pippa threw her boot at them, but the laces wrapped themselves around her wrist, and the boot circled back and hit her on the nose. Why is this small child wearing boots in her fucking house? Pippa blared like a steamboat siren. Meanwhile, German looked through the peephole. He saw no one there, even though the buzzer, which did not fall silent for a second, continued insistently demand they open the door. Moje malinky krysianek! I have to be someone's little Kamchatka shrew one day. I just checked the whole bottle of beer. Hey, who's out there? I'm warning you. I don't like jokes, Durnyov barked, arming himself with a hammer. He stepped out onto the landing. Don't they live on fucking Rublyovka? Why would he fucking arm himself with a hammer? Suddenly, he made a face like that of an old lady who by mistake has pet a Nile crocodile instead of a poodle. Okay? Does that often happen? In front of the door, barely able to fit on the narrow landing, lay an enormous case for a double base. The case was exceptionally old and sheathed with very thick, rough leather that at the same time also looked somehow like scales. If German Nikitich had been a little more erudite, or if, for example, he had had the habit of leafing through books, he would easily have recognized the skin as the kind artists always depict on dragons. In addition, a small copper label was riveted to the convex handle of the case, the half-faded Latin letters on which read, Trumpet of the Mage, Fair Drums, I don't fucking know what that says. But Durnyov hadn't the least desire to examine the case, much less the inscription on it. He saw only that a large and extremely suspicious object had been left on his doorstep, and figured the one who had left it there was most likely now running away. Wait, is the case, like, closed? Did they close a baby inside a fucking double base case? Is it not suffocating in there? What the fuck? Open it! Open it right now! Losing his slippers, German Nikitich awkwardly jumped over the case and leaping out onto the stairs, hauled out into the echoing void. Hey, you there! Hey, take back your suspicious thingamajig! I'm calling the militia! Really, the militia. Okay, just say the police. Why didn't you translate it? They just says police. No one plants a bomb on my doorstep. No one responded to his cry. Durnyov, who had thrust his head through the railing, fancied for a brief moment that a shadow had flicked several floors below. Then the outer door slammed and all went quiet. The second-hand socks firm director realized that the rocks who had planted the mysterious whatever it was had escaped. After screaming out another pair of threats, German Nikitich slunk back. The case was still there. Before going any further, Durnyov squatted down and rested his head in his hands. Ninel, come here! Look what they left us, he called out plaintively. His wife's round, oh my god, fat-cheeked head really... Okay. Peeped out of the apartment. Ninel was clutching a Tefal... What kind of fucking product placement is this? Frying pan, since for the same reason for which her husband had armed himself with a hammer. Look, it's a case, she said, astonished. Don't have to touch it. I'm sure there's a bomb inside it, German Nikitich wailed. You sent me a friend request? Wait, give me a second. I'll make an invite. Make sure to read the rules, though. Anyone who doesn't follow the server rules, you'll be in trouble. Okay. Don't you love when they don't translate some words in books to make it sound quirky? Because, oh my god, foreign literature, different culture, yeah, the militia, oh my god, the militia. Such great exotic words, right? He doesn't even know what he's getting into. Stop that, you loved it. I try to make people be more tame on there, okay? Like it's just difficult for me. I do my best to keep it organized, but it's kind of hard because nobody listens to me. So if anything, none of the stuff that happens on there is my fault. So is my playground? I wish it fucking wasn't. I really do. Anyways. Let's see. Where was I? There you go. At that moment, a strange sound came from the case. Durnyov decided it was the ticking of a clock. It's about to blow! Get down! Shouted the head of the second-hand socks as he quickly started crawling away. His wife flopped onto the linoleum, shielding her head with the Tefal frying pan. But the expected explosion did not follow. Instead, the demanding cry of a baby came from inside. Yes, it's suffocating! Help it! Exchanging amazed glances, Durnyov and his wife crept up to the case. The old lock clicked, the lid opened. Ah, do you see that? It's a child! Exclaimed Ninel, coming face to face with her husband. Better it were a bomb, groaned German Nikitich! Me! Better it were a bomb! Inside the case, on a thoughtfully placed red blanket, lay a little girl with curly hair. On the tip of her nose, she had a little mole the size of the grain of buckwheat. The baby had just woken up and was now crying loudly from hunger, or maybe from lack of oxygen, vigorously drumming her arms and legs against the double base case. Ninel scrunched up her face in disgust. No, I will not take her into my home. What if she's contagious? She's disease-ridden for sure. Look at that suspicious spot on her nose. Just the thought of her climbing into people's crib makes my skin crawl. But we can't just leave her here either. The neighbors will come running. Oh, of course we won't just leave her here. We are humane people. We'll hand the girl over to a nursery. And when she grows up, they'll send her to a children's home. There she'll be trained to paint fences, sweep streets, and do hundreds of other remarkable professions, Durnyov said cheerfully. Alright then. Having gathered up his slippers, which had been scattered about the landing, he was already rushing to the telephone when his wife suddenly exclaimed, "Look, my little rat! There's a ladder! Over there, tied to the child's wrist! Don't swing your arms, you little toad!" I'll get it off all the same. Oh. How do I bathe in Nicki Minaj rule? You gotta stay strong, doggo. You gotta stay strong. you gotta stay strong. Oh my goodness. Non-mod abuse moment? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, yeah. Yes, exactly, doggo. Yeah, but I think it's just a lazy translation, really. I don't even know if it's like an official translation. I'm not entirely sure if this is like an official translation. Like, I'm not entirely sure. Having gathered up his slippers, which had been scattered about the landing, he was already rushing to tell. Oh wait, I already read that. Sorry. Bending over, Nino disdainfully pried off the envelope. In it was enclosed a photograph, the sight of which made German Nikitich break out in beads of sweat. Two boys were captured in the photograph. One pale, gaunt, with a sour and sinister face, the other thoughtful and sad, with a large nose and red curls. "Oh no," Durnyov groaned. "It's a picture of me and Lenchik Grotter." Ah, Lenchik! My grandmother's sister's second cousin, once removed. It's a picture of me and Lenchik Grotter, my grandmother's sister's second cousin, once removed. Oh my god. Here, look, I'm trying to whack him on the forehead with my toy track, and he's just standing through that damn telescope. She's staring through that damn telescope of his. No wonder today was so rotten. Is this girl really his daughter? If so, we have to take her in. That'll be the end of my political career. You know, Nino, I want to run for deputy. Hearing that the girl could stay with them, his wife swelled up so much with anger she could barely fit on the landing. Okay, I cannot do this. You never told me about Lenchik Grotter, she shrieked angrily. Durnyov coughed uneasily. Well, actually, his name's not Lenchik, it's Leopold. My grandmother called him Lenchik. Oh, there was a real good for nothing. Not my grandmother, of course, but that Grotter. As children, we hated each other fiercely. We fought every time we met. Actually, truth be told, I was the one who'd pummel him, while he mainly just sat in the corner or leafed through his idiotic books. He was always doing all sorts of ridiculous things. He hung around with hedgehogs, then learned to speak in the languages of cats, and they set him before me as a role model. And then what do you think happened? At 10 years old, he hot-wired his first motorcycle. And then at 12, he robbed a bank. So much for trusting the quiet ones. What? What the fuck? Study we see is for study and moral support, yeah. Just follow the Muslim, but don't get Muslim there misbehave. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. This is all a lie. Cyrus is lying to you, doggo. Oh, I hate it here. This book is so bad. A 12-year-old boy robbed a bank. His wife couldn't believe her ears. Easily, he did it all with computers without even leaving the— oh my god, he's a hacker. But they found him out. Then the militia arrived. He simply disappeared. Not Leopold's hacker fucking face. What the fuck? Everyone thought he was in his room, so they broke down the door only to find no one there. They searched for him everywhere, but they never found him. They eventually decided he was dead. I was happier than anyone, because do you know where that jerk transferred all the stolen money? To a fund for helping stray dogs. No, he didn't give it to me, his own cousin, but to someone else. Durnyov turned purple with indignation. It seemed as though the steam were about to burst from his ears and nostrils. Well, anyway, he had disappeared, he continued, calming down a little. Now listen to the rest. 15 years later, I get a New Year's postcard from the guy with an idiotic stamp of a winged monster on it. I read it, tossed it on a chair, and just like that, it got lost somewhere before I had time to look at the return address. And now this baby! I wonder why on earth Grotter left his brat with me. Look, there's also a newspaper clipping explaining Ninel who'd thought to look in the envelope again. Tragedy in the mountain. Not a year goes by to which avalanches don't claim new lives. This time their victims were archaeologists Sofia and Leopold Grotter, who were investigating the burial grounds of prehistoric animals in the Tian Shan Mountains. A huge avalanche literally swept away their tent, which they had carelessly pitched on a dangerous part of a slope. So far, the bodies of the courageous archaeologists have not been found. Sofia and Leopold are survived by a daughter, Tatiana, who now evidently will be sent to live with her relatives. And just know that shortly before the tragedy, the Grotters had succeeded in finding the perfectly preserved remains of a saber-toothed tiger. This plot, dude, right? That poor tiger, to be found in connection with such people. At least he was already dead, Durnyov explained with feeling. That was the only regret German Nikitich expressed upon learning of the death of his distant cousin, the girl lying in the double bass case, who had quieted down while they were reading the clipping, now began to cry twice as loudly. The way she's crying, it's almost as if she understood, Durnyov hesitated. I bet when she grows up, she'll go to prison. Just for the sake of enjoying that spectacle, we'll legalize our guardianship over her. Feed her, Ninel. There's still some expired kefir. No, don't give her expired kefir in the refrigerator. She's 1 year old. We were just going to throw it out anyway. And so German Durnyov and his wife Ninel became Uncle German and Aunt Ninel. Under those impressive names, they were at once entered into the reference book, the 1,000 Most Unpleasant Lopukoids. Well, that was wonderful, wasn't it, guys? Great first chapter. How did you find this even in Russia? Is very well known? I thought it was fairly well known in Russia. I've heard quite a bit about it back when I lived in Russia, but I don't know, I was never really that into it. I don't really like Harry Potter, so like this was even worse for me, but actually, that was fun. I think we should read more, guys. Some other time, maybe when I'm also not feeling like drawing, we can do more Tanya Grotter reading. But fuck it, no. I got lost while hearing the plot. It's okay, there really wasn't one. My brain is gone. This wasn't a very enjoyable trip. I know you loved it, it's okay. Do a little recap before his chapter? Okay. Oh my god, that was so like bad. And just some of the stuff it said was so in poor taste. Like, even as a parody, you lived in Russia? I am Russian, I used to live there, yes. Are you going to quiz? Yes, guys, this will be on the test, guys. There will be a test next week about the first chapter. You will have to write a 5,000-word essay analyzing the first chapter. Okay? I'm expecting she is Russian. Oh god, I hope not. God, I hope fucking not. Oh god, my voice kind of hurts, man. I definitely hurt my voice reading all this. Review book! What a video! Yes, let's go. Wait, Lera's Russian? Yes, Ethan, and now you have to live with it. Congratulations. And explains your name, it does, doesn't it? Oh god. If we have to write a report, I will unfollow. Okay, that's fine. I don't want cowards. I don't need cowards around here. People not dedicated to the art that is Tanya Grotter. If only I had known before. Oh man, that's so sad. that. Anyway, it is 10 p.m. Yay, 2-hour stream. That's how I planned. Good. Okay, I will see you guys on Friday for some Halo. I will hopefully be less tired, but we'll have to see about that. But yes, thank you guys so much for coming today. I know it was a little unhinged, but I think it was really funny. Have a good rest of your day or night, guys. I hope you all had a good time just now. I really do. When I was in school, I read the whole series and it was being published. Oh, I see. Oh wow, we got a tiny fun here. Have a good night, everyone. Bye bye. Oh, where's my end screen? Oh, there it is. Bye bye.